Toby was a dreamer, always lost in his thoughts. He lived in a small town by the sea. The town was quiet, with the gentle sound of waves crashing against the shore. Toby dreamed of pirates and faraway islands, imagining himself as a brave captain sailing the seven seas. He read every book about adventure he could find, from tales of treasure hunts to stories of daring explorers. He longed for his own adventure to begin, often staring out the window with a sense of yearning. Toby's house was perched on a hill, offering a perfect view of the endless horizon. From his window he could see the vast ocean, its waves whispering promises of distant lands. He imagined ships sailing to distant lands filled with treasures and mysteries waiting to be uncovered. He dreamed of salty winds and crashing waves, the thrill of the unknown calling to him. He yearned to explore the unknown, to set foot on uncharted territories and make discoveries of his own. One sunny afternoon, Toby decided to explore the woods behind his house, feeling a sense of adventure bubbling inside him. The woods were dark and mysterious, with shadows dancing between the trees. Toby wasn't scared. He was intrigued. He felt a thrill of excitement, his heart pounding with anticipation. He was ready to discover something new, to uncover the secrets hidden within the forest. Toby skipped along the path, his steps light and full of joy. The sunlight peeked through the trees, casting a magical glow on the forest floor. The air was fresh and alive, filled with the scent of pine and earth. He felt like he was entering a different world, a place where anything was possible, a world full of secrets and surprises, waiting for him to uncover its mysteries and embark on his own adventure. Toby spotted something unusual under a giant oak tree. It was a wooden chest. The chest was old and weathered. It was adorned with strange carvings. Toby's heart pounded with curiosity. Toby cautiously approached the chest. He brushed away the fallen leaves. The wood felt rough beneath his fingers. He tried to lift the lid, but it wouldn't budge. It was firmly locked. Toby searched for the key. He looked around the base of the tree. He checked under rocks and fallen branches. He couldn't find anything. Disappointment began to creep in. Just when he was about to give up, he spotted something glinting in the grass. It was a small golden key. Toby snatched it up. Hope surged through him. Could this be the key to the mysterious chest? Toby rushed back to the chest, his heart pounding with anticipation. The forest around him seemed to hold its breath, as if it too was waiting for what was about to happen. He held his breath and carefully inserted the key into the lock. The key was old and ornate, its metal cool against his fingers, and it fit perfectly into the ancient lock. With a satisfying click, the lock sprang open. The sound echoed in the quiet forest, a promise of secrets about to be revealed. The chest creaked as Toby lifted the heavy lid. It was heavier than he expected, and he had to use both hands to push it open. Inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, lay a single object, a beautifully crafted compass. The velvet was worn and dusty, but the compass gleamed as if it had been polished just yesterday. It was unlike any compass Toby had ever seen. The intricate designs on its surface seemed to tell a story of their own, one of adventure and mystery. Its needles spun wildly, pointing in every direction at once. It was as if the compass was alive, searching for something or someone. As Toby reached for it, the compass pulsed with a warm golden light. The light seemed to wrap around his hand, inviting him to take hold of it. Suddenly, the world around Toby began to swirl. The trees, the chest, everything started to blur and twist. The trees of the forest blurred into streaks of green and brown. It was like being inside a spinning top, everything moving too fast to focus on. The ground seemed to shift beneath his feet. He felt dizzy, as if the earth itself was moving. He felt a strange pulling sensation, as if he were being drawn into the compass itself. It was a force he couldn't resist, pulling him closer and closer. He closed his eyes, fear momentarily overwhelming his curiosity. What was happening? Where was he going? When he opened them again, he was no longer in the familiar woods behind his house. The air was different, the sounds were different. He stood on a wooden deck, the salty sea air stinging his nostrils. He could hear the waves crashing against the ship and the distant call of seagulls. Toby realized he was on an adventure far beyond his wildest dreams. Toby looked around in astonishment, his eyes wide with wonder and excitement. He had never seen anything like this before. He was on a pirate ship. The wooden deck creaked under his feet, and the salty sea breeze filled his lungs. The deck bustled with activity, sailors moving swiftly and efficiently, each one knowing their role perfectly. Burly pirates with gold earrings and eye patches scurried around, their rough voices mixing with the sounds of the sea. The sails billowed above, filled with a strong wind that propelled the ship forward, making it feel alive and powerful. A gruff voice boomed, "Well, lad, you must be our new cabin boy." The voice was commanding and left no room for argument. Toby turned to see a tall, imposing pirate with a long black beard and a mischievous glint in his eye. The pirate's presence was both intimidating and fascinating. This had to be the captain. His authoritative stance and confident demeanor made it clear he was in charge. Toby stammered, But I'm not a cabin boy." His voice wavered, betraying his nervousness. The captain chuckled, a deep, rumbling sound that seemed to come from the depths of his soul. "Everyone is a sailor on the high seas, lad. Now what's your name?" The captain's eyes twinkled with curiosity and amusement. Taking a deep breath, Toby stood tall and met the captain's gaze. "Toby, sir," he said. "My name is Toby." He tried to sound confident, despite the butterflies in his stomach. A wide grin spread across the captain's face. "Welcome aboard, Toby. Prepare for an adventure." The captain's warm welcome made Toby feel a surge of excitement and anticipation for the journey ahead. Section 5, Stormy Seas. Days turned into nights as Toby sailed with the pirates. He learned to scrub the decks and tie knots. The pirates were tough but kind to Toby. They treated him like one of their own. One day, a fierce storm arose. The wind howled like a hungry wolf. Waves crashed over the ship. The pirates scrambled to secure the rigging. Toby had never seen anything so scary. The captain shouted, "Toby, take hold of that rope!" Toby saw a loose rope whipping in the wind. He knew it was important. He had to be brave. Taking a deep breath, Toby lunged for the rope. The wind tried to rip it from his grasp, but he held on tight. He tied it securely, just as the captain had taught him. Section 6, A Test of Courage. The storm raged for hours. Toby worked alongside the pirates, his small hands gripping ropes, his face drenched with seawater. He was exhausted but exhilarated. He had never felt so alive. When the storm finally subsided, the captain clapped Toby on the back. "You showed true grit out there, lad," he said, his voice filled with respect. The other pirates cheered. Toby had proven himself. He was no longer just a boy from a sleepy town. He was a true adventurer. The next morning, the captain called Toby to his cabin. "Toby," he said, "we've been searching for a legendary treasure. We need your help." The captain pointed to an old, faded map. "This map is the key, but it's missing a vital piece." Section 7, The Treasure Map. Toby carefully examined the map. It depicted a cluster of islands, their edges frayed and faded. In the center, a skull and crossbones marked a spot labeled Captain Blackheart's Bounty. But a large chunk of the map was missing, ripped away, leaving a gaping hole in the center. "This is all that's left of the map," the captain explained, his voice heavy with disappointment. "Legend says Captain Blackheart tore off a piece, hiding it separately. Without it, finding the treasure is impossible." Toby traced his finger along the torn edge. "What if the missing piece isn't lost?" he asked. "What if it's somewhere else, waiting to be found?" A spark of hope flickered in the captain's eyes. "What do you propose, lad?" he asked. Section 8, The Sea Serpent. Toby remembered the compass, the one he found in the chest. He retrieved it from his cabin. As he approached the map, the compass's needle, which had been spinning erratically, suddenly pointed towards the torn edge. "It's like it wants to complete the map," Toby exclaimed. He placed the compass on the torn edge. The compass pulsed with a golden light, and an ethereal glow emanated from the torn edge of the map. Suddenly, the ship lurched violently. The pirates scrambled for balance as a monstrous head, covered in shimmering green scales, rose from the depths. Its eyes, glowing like hot coals, fixed on Toby. The sea serpent had arrived. Section 9, Treasures Found. It's guarding the missing piece, shouted the first mate, his voice trembling. The serpent opened its massive jaws, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. Toby knew what he had to do. He grabbed a rope and swung himself towards the serpent's head. Landing on the serpent's snout, Toby saw a glint of gold. Tucked beneath a scale was a small, rolled-up piece of parchment. With lightning speed, Toby snatched the parchment and swung back onto the ship just as the serpent lunged. Back on the ship, Toby unfurled the parchment. It fit perfectly into the missing section of the map, revealing the final clue to the treasure's location. "It's on Skull Island," Toby exclaimed. Section 10. Farewell, pirates. Following the complete map, they sailed to Skull Island. They braved booby traps and outwitted rival pirates along the way. Finally, they found Captain Blackheart's legendary buried treasure. The pirates rejoiced, showering Toby with immense gratitude and gold coins. Toby had successfully found the treasure. He had faced his deepest fears. He had proven himself to be a true adventurer. But as much as he enjoyed life on the high seas, Toby missed his home dearly. He missed the quiet woods and his cozy, warm bed. The captain, understanding Toby's longing, steered the ship back towards Toby's hometown. "You'll always be one of us, Toby," he said, handing him a small, shiny gold coin, a reminder of your incredible adventures. Section 11. Back to reality? Toby found himself back in the woods beneath the giant oak tree. The chest was gone. The sun was setting, casting long shadows through the trees, creating an eerie atmosphere. Had it all been a dream, or was it real? He looked down at his hand, searching for answers. He was still clutching the captain's gold coin tightly. It glinted in the fading light, warm and real. Toby smiled. He knew deep in his heart that his adventure wasn't over yet. It was just the beginning of something grand. The world was full of mysteries waiting to be discovered by him. And Toby, the boy who dreamed of pirates, was ready to find them. The end, for now,